Hello, and we are live, and welcome to the next session about Kotlin for the server side. We have another series of the webinars going on now, and today with me, I'm Anton Arkhipov, by the way. I'm developer advocate from JetBrains in working in Kotlin team. And today with me, I have Dmitry Alexandrov from Helidon team. Hi, Dmitry.
Yeah. Hi, Anton. It's a great pleasure to be here together with you.
Honored.
Yes, hello.
We are honored. So before we start, I would like to do a little intro. What's going on? As I mentioned, it's the second series of the webinars. In the first series of the webinars, in the beginning of the year, we had sessions about Google Cloud and Kafka. And in this series, we have already one webinar has been broadcasted in the end of February. It was about Spring with Kotlin, coroutines, and RSocket. Today we have a session about Helidon and Kotlin, and there are some more sessions coming up about Ktor and Ktor with surprise Kafka. But the previous session, it was already recorded. It's already published on our YouTube channel. You can watch it retrospectively. And by the way, since we are on YouTube, you can always subscribe. Don't hesitate. It's a good thing to subscribe on our channel. It's actually a good indicator for us that we are doing something interesting. And as we proceed through the webinar, I will ask you to ask questions, of course, in the chat. Whenever I can answer anything, I will answer myself or delegate the question to Dmitry. And if you feel appropriate, thumbs up, right? You push like to the video, and we are happy with that. Or please leave your comments to the video afterwards. So I think that's it. For the introduction, and we can start with the main content. So, Dmitry, the floor is yours, and I'm going to add you to the stream.
Okay, lovely. Okay, I can now see my presentation. So, so once again, my name is Dmitry. For about half a year, I work for Helidon team. In Oracle, and actually, everything I'm going to show you today is kind of my initiative, and I'm really happy it works. And let's actually do it, and let's actually see how it works. So I've prepared a small presentation for you. So after the presentation, we will actually see some code as well, and definitely discuss it. As Anton said, please interrupt me at any time. I think we're going to answer all your questions. At least it's something I know, because once again, there's a small disclaimer, by the way. I'm not a super Kotlin expert. I consider myself as an average Kotlin developer. So I have, I believe, 3 Kotlin projects, which were like production projects. But now, as I work for a product, even kind of a set of libraries, it's my first time. So yeah. Kind of this. Okay, so let us start. So once again, my name is Dmitry. I work for Oracle. I'm a software developer. So my Twitter handle is written both in my video and this slide. So please ping me at any time with any questions you have. Like Oracle employee, I have to show you this slide. So you should not believe what I say, but it's somewhere about the truth. So Kotlin and Helidon. So I believe for people that are not aware what Helidon is, I will do a small introduction what actually it is, and why it is server side, and why actually it's a good combination with Kotlin. So once again, Project Helidon. Currently, it's a set of libraries for developing microservices. So we don't consider ourselves as mainly as a framework or micro framework or whatever, because we're kind of not passing into the frames of everything. So actually, the main idea is that you have some separate modules. So we are very modular for almost everything you need to run a microservices. So all the information you can find on our website, which is helidon.io. So all the documentations and examples are there. You probably ask yourself what Helidon is and where you see this bird. Helidon is swallow in Greek, and I really personally like this very much because, well, every time I look how swallows fly, it reminds me of microservices. So they're very small, they're very maneuverable, they're very fast, and everything they do is kind of, well, they live in flocks. It definitely reminds us microservices world. So I believe the name is really chosen in a great way. So the even more, I would say, good thing about Helidon that it's completely open source. So that means that actually we are in GitHub and we are under Apache 2.0 license. So just go to github/oracle/Helidon and you will see everything we do, all the issues that we have, everything. So it's open sourced. And this is actually wonderful. So once again, very small, very fast, and this is one of our goals actually, to make it really fast. And to make it really fast, built on top of Netty. So actually, we get Netty, we get wrapped it with our services, and this is how we do it. Once again, since we are working in the clouds, we are cloud native ready. What that means that in well, we're not micro framework, we just serve HTTP and HTTPS, REST requests, etc., etc. Out of the box, you get a lot of stuff coming with you, which is like health, metrics, tracing, everything you need to run in microservices world. So absolutely lovely. And one of our goals is, of course, GraalVM native image support. So we do pay a lot of attention here, and yes. Full support is our kind of a really big target, I would say. There's one thing about maybe, well, in context of Kotlin as we talk, so we are completely Java 11 plus. That means that from the very beginning, we are not making any compromises for backward compatibility with Java 8. But so everything you actually need from the Java 11 world, we already have it. So if it's a doc, if you want to use it in context of Java, so we are already modular, we are already like living in this jigsaw world, and we are using a lot of goodies that came after Java 8. So we are fast and without any compromises there. Okay, so let us have a look a little bit at the higher level architecture of Helidon. So as I said, on the bottom we have a Netty, and this Netty is actually, well, does the raw work for us. On top of it, we built a set of libraries, which are a set of APIs and their implementations, which we call Helidon SE or Helidon Reactive APIs. That means that this is pure Java. Everything is in Java, everything is reactive, and everything is lovely and nicely made. I'll come a little bit later to it. And then on top of it, we have this Helidon MP, which is like MicroProfile support. As I mentioned in the beginning, so what actually Helidon is a set of libraries. We kindly target mainly our MicroProfile support in the Java world. That means that underneath we support all the specifications which are MicroProfile specific. Actually, let's have a look at this. So for those who don't know, so MicroProfile, I believe MicroProfile actually everybody knows about it. So, but I hope if somebody doesn't, so this slide is for you. Is an open source community specification for Java microservices. What does that mean? That this is a set of specifications and not their implementations. So that means that every participant in this initiative and this community specification can then implement those specifications in their own product, which makes them really portable. That means that you can just take your code and port it to another container, and it should work out of the box. And as you see, the participants are really a lot. So we have Oracle, we have IBM, Red Hat, Payara, even Tommy Tribe, of course, and even Microsoft is already there. So this is kind of interesting. And with really high cadence, well, 4 releases per year, so the specifications evolve quite quickly. Currently, the version of MicroProfile is 4.0, and we have this set of 12 specifications, although in the beginning there were only 3 of them. So although it started with CDI, JSON-P, and JAX-RS, so that was considered as necessary to run your microservices. And now they're all specific to MicroProfile, which is for the clouds, actually, living in the clouds, serving microservices. So we have tracing, Open API, REST client, everything. Where is Helidon here? So we are approaching our 4.0 support, but currently we're shipping support of 3.3 version of MicroProfile. And what we actually have, we have specific for components for MicroProfile. Then we have several Jakarta EE supported implementations. And because we have high demand in, say, the cores and gRPC, we currently serve this out of the box as well. So how can you actually start coding with MicroProfile? So you actually just go to MicroProfile starter page. But I don't like it very much because, especially for you, we have prepared a CLI. So since Helidon is not much target of this talk, there are a lot of talks on the internet when you can see me actually demonstrating this CLI working. So please follow. It will generate you Java projects. Okay, but as I say, it's only the MP part. Now we have decided not to hide from you all the reactive APIs that we have underneath that serve the MicroProfile stuff. And we have created a kind of a flavor of Helidon, which is absolutely pure Java. Pure, reactive, wonderful Java. And we call this thing Helidon SE. With it, actually, you receive a kind of a backstage support, I call it, like not only a ticket to the show, but also the backstage ticket for it. So what we have there. So if like Helidon MP is like MicroProfile specifications, and the Helidon SE is totally reactive, non-blocking micro framework. Helidon MP is fast. Helidon SE is even faster because there's no overhead for CDI stuff, etc., etc. Really tiny footprint, and if we compare it to Helidon MP, and as I said, functional style APIs and not like annotations. What does that mean? So in terms of SE, everything is really pure Java, and it's very debuggable, and it's very, no magic there. The only annotation I guess we used was like override or something. There's nothing else. So if you take a look at the code, this is, well, no, we're Kotlin seminar, but the Java style of it will be like if you Helidon MP, you annotate everything with MicroProfile specific annotation. In SE, you just use pure Java. So not only MicroProfile specific components, so we also have a lot of reactive streams and messaging libraries for you, which is cool because we have our own implementation of all the reactive stack there. And we have our own web client, and even we have a so-called DB client, which is like to make everything reactive and non-blocking. We have created our own implementation of like our wrapper, I would say, of DB client for JDBC and also for different other SQL and NoSQL databases, which actually runs in a separate thread that's allowing you using it in a reactive way. So at the end, so what we have really small memory consumption, which is like megabytes. As you see, when we give our graphs here, so you don't have only native image in JVM, also have this JLink. That means that we support this modular stuff there. So everything is modular. So when you build it, so you get it really, you get custom JVM, and that means that you just throw away everything you don't need. So you get it out of the box. Startup times are fractions of seconds, and disk footprint is really small, so like megabytes. Of course, if you have JVM and JLinks, there will be like more because you still have to carry this JVM with you. Finally, where is Kotlin? So actually, it all began with this combination of letters. So what does that mean? That means that when I joined the project, so I was really interested. I saw this pure Java and what we have there. I have started like experimenting. What will I get as a result if I press this combination and make it run? And actually, I got the quick starter. I will show you in a second. And the funny thing is, when I started, press this button, I received my Kotlin code. Just added this this plugin for Kotlin Maven plugin to our built plugins, and it worked. And it was so much cool. As a result, I got like a lot less code, which is like Kotlin's specific way of, because Kotlin is, saves you so much boilerplate and all of that stuff. So as a result, I really got a lot less code. And actually, let us try. So so what I have here, so this is my IDE. So here I will demonstrate you my project. Actually, I will give you the link. So this is a full set of Helidon examples, which are available on official Helidon website, but all of them are written in Kotlin. And I will demonstrate you like how actually it worked. So there is a quick start example, which is Kotlin example, Kotlin way of doing things. And let me show you how actually I came to this way. So I just delete the file. And I will get like a usual Java class from the quick start. Let me just copy it. Have my class open. So yes, I will just paste it in. And we will have a regular Java main class. So of course, as I told you, the only thing we actually need to do is convert file to Kotlin. It will do something for us, and what it will do is actually not much beautiful. Like I really like this way of saying it. Okay, guys, well, we have converted your code, but there's no guarantee it would ever work. And I think it will work like this, but this is not a Kotlin way of doing things. Here I thank very much Anton, which I contacted as I was playing it, and say, man, I really need to make it like more Kotlin. What was the right name of it? Not Kotlin specific, but Kotlin.
Idiomatic to Kotlin.
Idiomatic. Man, I love this word. Idiomatic code. So he actually helped me, and what we came to. So first of all, we actually don't need this object main at all, because Kotlin, well, it will create main KT for you. Then, once again, we don't need this JVM static. We'll just get a function. And once again, everything get converted to us. So here we are playing with so-called Helidon SE. Helidon SE is exactly what I said. So we are actually pure Java and we're building here. So we got a config, we got a builder. We just submit the config and build it here. And then we start the server because it's very reactive. It gives us completable future. And you see just pure Lambda, and we're just starting up. So here we have some routing that we also have to do. So like routing services and well, it's specific. So we have a greeting service, which was already converted to you. And the funny thing is that just to start it, I don't have to do nothing. Well, stop and rerun, yes, because it was already running. I don't have to do something too much special. I only have to just start it directly from the ED. And you see, it starts in fractions of a second, which is kind of a cool. And if I go to the terminal and do some curls, I just, well, I'll just have greeting, like greet. Yep. And as you see, we will receive our result, which is hello world. So this is exactly written in the code. So I just won't dive much into the code because we'll lose a lot of time. It should return like this way. But as I told you, what Helidon is, gives you a lot of things out of the box. And if you actually go to and see the code, we have some health and metrics. That means that if you go to health, you will receive a result by giving you health of the server. And of course, if you go to metrics, it will give you in Prometheus format all the metrics that you have in that server. And this is kind of awesome out of the box. By the way, you see, it's yep. Thank you so much. I will give this URL a little bit, yep, a little bit later. Yes, and the good thing is that you see, only with just converting, it started working. But yeah, first of all, not less code. By the way, if we take a look at the MP example, so this is the MicroProfile way of doing things. I won't write it right now. I do only have it. So you see several things like, you know, all the annotation, everything gets completely the same way as you expected. And all the annotations that you have for like put, path, consumes, and all the API stuff, you get just use them and it works out of the box.
Okay. By the way, regarding the MP, there is a question, like if it's possible to use both functional style and dependency injection with Helidon MP.
I don't think it's a good idea. Really, because you see, one of the main goals of Helidon SE is to make it completely away from the CDI stuff. You see, it's pure Java. If you add weld, by the way, we have a full weld support, which makes us like competitive to other frameworks. That means like it's absolutely fully supported, and even we made it cloud native image ready. Why? Because or even not why, well, some example that is that we have some third-party CDI extensions that we use, by the way, for Neo4j exactly, that were made for completely a different service, where we're experimenting with them. We actually just put the CDI extension to our dependencies and it worked out of the box. This is the standard way of doing things. Nothing crashed. And as it was like native image ready, the Neo4j was native, his driver is native image ready. We just built it into native image and it worked. So this is the beauty of standard things. So I was so much happy about it.
But long story short, you wouldn't recommend mixing the styles here?
No, I definitely would not, because it's totally different flavor, I would say. Main idea for SE is like it gives you full control. You know, it gives you it just throws away all the magic that you have and it gives you totally full control. And I'm not sure it's a good idea. I mean, I can't imagine even the situations you can do this. Although you may play it. I mean, if you play with this and give me a working example where it's useful, I will definitely like to see it and discuss it with you. I mean, yes. So what does that mean? So you see, even running from ED in fractions of a second, so you already got a full like MP supported functionality. which is really cool, and you get it in fractions of a second, just starting from the IDE, even converting it as a code from Java. But yes, I see it will be a little less, but what is good part of it? So I was playing with examples. Null is like we check for nulls in many ways, and what I discovered is, because Kotlin is caring much about nullability, because of that, a lot of my checks in the code were like vanished away. So because I'm quite sure about how I do it, the only thing we have to carry here is actually the latent it. So, but actually the IDE says you what to do. So if there's a latent it function, like the variable will be initialized later on, so you just have to carry it. But the language does support it in a very nice way. Next thing, actually, that's why I want to say for MP, whenever you do MP stuff, you see, there is CDI, extends, great proxies for you, and all the magic. And just to make it work, so just from converting it, it won't work out of the box. So for all the functions which are supposed to be like CDI friendly, and the classes that we have here, we really have to make them open. This is something you should care. On the compile time, most of the time you won't actually recognize this. But when you run it and start accessing your code, everything that has to be open has to be open. There is a way to surround it. So if you use this all open plugin, I guess, from Kotlin in your POM file, I personally, well, not exactly don't like it, but I think we're like, cheating here. What does that mean? So Kotlin gives you a very fine control of what you're doing. And actually, this openness and defining what is really open, in my opinion, is really cool about it. And you just really have to care about it. And I believe that just writing a keyword open is the best way to do it. So once again, if you convert your code well, I'm not sure how many people convert code, so maybe I'm asking some religious question how to convert from Java, etc., etc. But no, the question is, so if you write your code and you write it in MP environments, yeah, this is the plugin. Either you may cheat, like with this link that Anton gave you, or I prefer just to make it open and actually say that, and here I have the control, and just open the functions that really have to be opened.
It's like explicit versus implicit, right? You want to be sure, you want it to be written out explicitly.
Yep. But I believe that the explicit way is a good way of doing it. By the way, if you see all the annotations, like Kotlin makes it a little bit maybe sounds strange for some Java developers, but even when converted to code, like here for the greeting provider, all the inject constructors and config property, this works out of the box without any problems. So really cool, really awesome about it. But like, yes, this is not enough. It worked, but it's not enough. Just converting the code doesn't actually, well, feel like support from our side, from Kotlin's side. So as I looked at the code, I've said that there's a lot of usage of this as word. As with back quotes or whatever it is. And I don't like it because I see that it's a kind of a cheating. Not exactly cheating, but this is very Java-ish. I'm not sure how to say it correctly. Java-ish way of doing stuff. And I just don't like this backwards. I know this is like an escape. And I've started experimenting even more. And I saw that there is a very nice function in Kotlin, of language feature, I would say feature in Kotlin, which is like extension function. And I said, okay, I just want to hide this as from our users. And here actually came the first idea of, of actually introducing this Kotlin support project that we have made. And this Kotlin support, it actually gave us some extensions. So I took a look at my code and saw where actually I am using this as word, because as is a keyword for Kotlin, and we hide it like this. And here I created this bunch of functions, like for all the classes that we have, which we hide this as word, and we are using I would say replacement word, which just hides this word and makes the code really, really readable, I would say. So every time you include, and actually you see this as word that we're using, because there was an idea actually even to change a little bit our APIs themselves, but that will be a major change. It will be like painful for all of us, for all our users. So that's why I'm introducing these extensions. Really cool feature of Kotlin itself, really saved our lives in terms of not breaking the APIs and thus providing a good support for us. So just whenever in functions that you use like as type, well, if you have a DB column, so this is a DB driver, or if you have a config value, so it will automatically just replace as function to as type. So feel free to take a look at the examples there. Next things are the DSLs. So here's another experiment that we actually made. Is like when you convert the code and you see that our way of doing stuff is like have builders for everything, which is kind of cool, because for everything you need to do in a reactive way, and everything you need to construct any objects, we extensively use builder pattern. And I would once again say this is not exactly a Kotlin way of doing things. And I've started exploring that actually builder pattern is one of the best options for us to create our own DSLs. Yep, and I've started experimenting. And let's take a look back to our example, what we have. That's actually, you see, if we take a look at the routing, yep, create server. So there's a web server, there's a builder, and we do a config, and then we build it. Kotlin does it better. So I will just create a val and server once again. And I will use, like, okay, I'll call this server 1. I will use another thing, which is like what you get from our Kotlin support, which is actually a small DSL, I would say, for that. So we have our web server DSL, which we only need to just import. And at the end of the day, we can do all of that builder stuff, like you said, in a correct way. So if we have a routing, we just create our routing. Yes, from the config. Yeah, actually it's underneath. The next thing, if we need a JSON-P support, so we just create add media support. And then they say JSON-P support. Actually, even for that, there is a create, I guess, in the examples, there's a way how to fix this. And actually, that's it. We don't have to call build. We don't have to do anything. And this is like real more Kotlinish way of doing things. Anton, you look so surprised.
No, I'm not. I actually really like it. We could probably improve it even more, like amending this create call for good, just having like JSON-P support written out.
Actually, I think I do have it. Like, if we have JSONP support, actually I've created it, and since it's a DSL, there's no create, so this is enough.
Oh, that looks nice.
Look, I've done my homework. I know. So, and that's it. So the next thing will be like there's a lot of other way, not ways, but a lot of other stuff you can actually not stuff but builders you can replace with it. So it's the same with health support. So that's already included in the DSLs that will be provided to you. So we just remove all that Java ugly build stuff. Yep, and just add our stuff in a Kotlin way with DSLs. The same is for routing. So we have our routing DSL for that. Yes, we just have to import it. I think I should support, so whenever you do, we just import it. Remove the build for you. And actually, we don't need the dots anymore. And you see, it's much more Kotlinish way of doing things. And if you just rerun it again, now it's a funny thing, will it work or not? Yes, but you see, it starts with the same speed. And if we go to like health checks, greets, because, wait a minute. Oh yeah, because it started, yeah, because I have to, it started on a different port because I've added like a different way. So if we go here, well, it will say hello world. Yep. So wait a minute. So this is actually where is my IDE? Wait a minute. Something totally wrong with the calling. Oh yes, because it's like, let me just open it again.
I would like to add here is that you say it's a DSL, like a domain specific language, but the reality is it's not a language, it's just the API, it's a vocabulary. There is no like specific grammar or anything. And it's not really a language, it's the idiomatic way of using Kotlin, just syntax sugar.
Exactly. So we have created syntax sugar, which is like, I believe, a helper way of, not helper, but a regular helping. Well, Kotlin is used to. It allows you this sugar to save your time. So as Hadi Kariri once said, so let me just open the presentation again. Kotlin is like very pragmatic way of pragmatic language. And that means that it adds you a lot of sugar, really a lot of sugar, but just to save your time. So as I said, the Kotlin support, so this is what we actually did for you. It's to save your time. Yep. Okay, just give me a second. I will just add my my presentation back. Yep. And we will continue. Yep. So as I say, so web server is done like this. So routing is done like this, as I demonstrated to you. Another thing, which actually was a problem by exploring it, is the repeating annotations. So in our code, like for example, we have like time of the day, for example, if you want to make a scheduler for that. So we just add several times of the day, add time of the day, add time of the day. But it doesn't work in Kotlin right now. So that's why actually I just want to pay your attention. There's nothing we've done specially for it. I mean, there's no special support. But every time you see repeating annotations, so most of the time, so the way it's done, the annotations are done in Java, is that there's a wrapper annotation, I would say, times of the day, and then you actually say, well, just not enumerate, but list these in a repeating way. So yes, so we have usage of repeatable annotations there in Helidon, but this is your way to avoid them. And actually, there are examples for that as well. So, oh, give me a second. So I will just closed it. So my bad. And yep, it's written like not supported in Kotlin, but not exactly. So there is a sample. Like, for example, for security, if you use this attribute-based access control, we have several authentication options there. And it's not supported like multiple annotations, but if you add this annotation just to enumerate several of the repeatable annotations, this will work out of the box. There's nothing you should change here. Yes, just pay attention. So every time you have repeatable annotations somewhere in the code, this is the way to avoid it. Okay, so I guess this will help. And yes, actually, I was a little bit short, maybe only 40 minutes, but all of that stuff I've showed you today, I've demonstrated you today, I got currently in my own private, not private, but public Helidon Kotlin examples repo, which you can find under this URL. So if you go back to the code once again, so there are about most than 100 examples. Probably all of the examples that we have for Helidon, I've made it and actually reworked them for Kotlin. This can be actually your starting point for using Helidon. So most of the time, so if you go to the quick starts, so the code is like, first of all, so we have everything in Kotlin, it's documented. Then we have tests in Kotlin. Yes, they're all in Kotlin. Here you can see that, for example, what I said, so web server, which is initialized. So this is a way to test our web service. So we have our web server and web client. So if you just convert the code, it won't work because it will give you a lot of checks for null, etc., etc. I have reworked this in Kotlin way. That means that everything I did about late inits and everything like before all with JVM static functions, because just before all won't work, although it's JUnit. So all of that stuff is actually done for you. And this is, I believe, one of the things where you can start trying coding with Kotlin and Helidon. And all of the examples, once again, most of them, I would say all, but I believe 80% of them are covered with code, with tests. All of them also converted to Kotlin. So it's both code in Kotlin, examples, and the tests are in Kotlin. So it covers all of that. Even our DB client is also covered with all of these Mongo examples that we have here. So we have a service, like you take a look at it, it works. You see, they're all already utilizing the DSL. It's not just converting, and it's not just given to you. All the examples are already utilizing this extensions and this DSLs, or actually sugar, that we have here. So actually, this is what I wanted to mention mostly. So all the aspects for usage of Helidon with Kotlin are written in this bunch of examples. And once again, the good part of it, currently it's under my repo, but we have already requested Oracle for providing its own repo for that. But as bureaucracy and all of the product just takes time, because actually creating this bunch of example was faster than just getting a repo for them. And what is actually, why should you use Kotlin with Helidon? This was the big question actually, which I asked myself for doing it. Well, first of all, because of course there's a KTOR. I believe the next session will be about KTOR, and so it's like, yes, it's not exactly a competitor, but well, if I have Ktor, why should I use Helidon? I'll try to answer this question as well. So first of all, Kotlin, Helidon, we position ourselves, well, as I say, the 90% of your tasks can be solved with MicroProfile stuff. And we have this MicroProfile support. That means that if you write something for MicroProfile, Kotlin is a good choice for you. You see, it works. You only have to be aware about this open class. You can do it explicit or implicit way, as it was mentioned here. Next thing, there are two flavors of Helidon. So once again, you always get this on Rails, I would say, doing stuff with MicroProfile, and you have the possibility to get the backstage access to do everything reactive, and there you get all the specifications implemented for health, for metrics, for tracing, for fault tolerance. So you get them out of the box. That means that it's not a microframe. That's why I call myself. We call ourselves like set of libraries more than a micro framework, because out of the box you get them working. And what a good thing about is, where we also discussed it with Anton. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Anton. So. One of the idiomatic ways of using Kotlin is that you have this backend from libraries which are written for you and supported for you, and Kotlin is just the best language to use them.
Could be true.
Well, yes, I also believe in that because I like it very much. I mean, the code base for that project shrinked almost twice as number of lines, by the way. So as I was playing, so this is why, like, takeaways from the playing. And that means that these are the set of libraries already done for you, and you can use them in Kotlin. Yes, and you can use them in two ways, with annotations, and you can use it in with this I would say danger mode, the Helidon reactive mode. And what was a funny thing about it is, we're playing with this sugaring, with the sugars like extensions and DSLs. This extensive usage of builder pattern that we use underneath really helped us. Well, we were not supposing to do, like, it was not specially designed for Kotlin, but extensive usage of builder patterns almost everywhere help us create this sugar methods. And you see, it was adopting it was really easy. So you see, every time you create this web service routings, etc., it was very easy. And every time you do something like build a pattern, so every time we extend something, we'll build a pattern. Now, for example, I have worked on Neo4j integrations, and then we also use this build a pattern to create our object drivers, etc. For me, my next step, as it works in Java, I will test everything. It works in Java and everything's okay. My next step will be to create this extension, not exactly extension, but sugar for Kotlin. And I will do it very fast. That means that we are, like, proactively looking in future. That means that our architecture helps us adopt Kotlin very easy. This is the beautiful part of it. So this is like, for example, if you're an architect and you make decisions about what will be in future, this will be a benefit for you, because it's very easy. You can even do it yourself. And another thing is, we have many additional options, like DB client, for example. So you can use like non-blocking DB client with a blocking driver, because it runs in a separate executor for you. And well, at least I've tested it. It did work. Yes, you can use it. Another thing is, we have a reactive non-blocking web client, so you can also use it. So you see, Helidon provides you a lot of already done for you, already prepared for you goodies that you can just do it. And once again, the integrations. So we are now working hard on integrations. You got it.
Regarding that, there was a good question in the chat about the usage of RSocket or gRPC with Helidon. Just
Yes, we
basically,
do.
if it's possible. And I don't see any blockers for that, actually.
Actually, gRPC is already shipped. I mean, so I will just, so once again, there's experimental. I want to say it a little bit future so in slides, but gRPC is already supported. No, nothing will block you there. Yeah, actually, let's go to the slides. So once again, this is still experimental. I just want to, this is a disclaimer. If something does not work, maybe I've missed something, but I kindly ask our listeners to take a look at the repo and send me a bunch of issues. Yes,
yeah, it's a good time to mention that they should provide comments to the video and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, exactly. So subscribe, comment, submit an issue. So this is the way of doing it. And this is still experimental. This is still under my repo, but it's like getting the true support. But it's working, and it's working in a very nice way. You see, it really did work. So cool. So everything changes very fast. So we got Helidon 2.0, and there's some highlights I just want to mention to you. That we are already adopting usage of virtual threads. So there is another my presentation. I really don't want to get out of the time. And there's another presentation that I do demonstrate this. So only adding one parameter and getting yourself a Loom machine will actually run all of your requests, not in a synchronous way, but in virtual threads, in blocking virtual threads. And we already support it, although actually Java JVM itself is not shipped. It's still experimental, but whenever you want to play, just do it. It's just adding one option, one parameter to the options file, and you got it. So we got MicroProfile GraphQL support already. It's both SE and MP way. So GraphQL, everybody loves GraphQL right now. We got it as a support. There's another thing which is kind of cool. I'm not sure if it will work with Kotlin, but I am now playing with it. We have Micronaut support. So everything you've done through Micronaut is now can be integrated into Helidon. That means that Helidon can work with Micronaut data integration and with Micronaut actually classes. So this is like so whenever you need you have a code which you've written in Micronaut and you want to migrate it to Kotlin, you don't need to migrate it. You just use it directly in our code. There's also example for that. Although currently in Java, I have now planned to see how it works with Kotlin, but it's like subject to discussion because Micronaut itself uses a lot of stuff like in a build time. So it does a lot of stuff in build time. So it's a tricky question. But anybody who would play with this will be just awesome. Okay, so multiple JDBC driver support for native image, so and bug fixes. So that's already in this version. And I currently want to say that we try to be like very informative. So just go to helidon.io website. It's actually now getting rebuilt, so it's a new version there. Whenever you like long reads, go to medium.helidon.com/helidon. And if you don't like to read, we have a YouTube channel for you. Not yet TikTok, but well, some videos have to be like not so short.
Sooner or later, we all will be there.
Sooner or later, yes. Yes, we will be there, and I really have to shrink my demos on YouTube to that TikTok format. But there are a bunch of videos, and they're like we add them more and more. So with all of that demonstrations. So once again, actually, this was my kind of a presentation. So I'll go back to the slide. So whenever you would like to play with it, so please play. Please do submit issues. I've really tested probably all of the examples that did work. I mean, since we have tests, the tests have passed in green, and I've just played with them, and they did work. And
we have another interesting question.
Yeah, the question
regarding Helidon, actually.
Yeah.
So, is there like a project initializer for Helidon? Or something similar?
We use, since we are here, like let me show you something. Yes, initializer is like in progress, but let me show you another thing. We currently have something even better, I said, as I say. So let me just go full screen actually, and do the code a little bit bigger. So I'll do it on desktop. So we have our CLI, which is Helidon CLI. You can just, I mentioned it in the slides. You can get it out of the demo. You can actually see it on the slides. So it's available both for all of the operating systems. We just released even for Windows, which is like surprise. By the way, I just want to mention that this Helidon app is written in Java, and it's built in native image, and it's shipped as native image built Java application, which is kind of awesome. So what do you actually do? So you do Helidon init. Yes, and you choose your flavor. We'll choose SE, and you have different examples like quick start or database even. I'll do the quick start. We will just say some project group, package names, etc. And it has its development lib. So whenever you change file, it will detect changes and reload it for you. And as a result, let's have a look at what it actually generates for you. It's quick starter. It will generate you a regular starter up with, it's actually the same quick starter as we have in Kotlin, currently Java. By the way, we want to support Kotlin generation in our application. It's seriously discussed in our meetings, and I believe it will come like really soon. And as you see here, you have all you need, even for Docker images, for JLink, for native. It generates you a full project. So this is currently our way of doing it, and starter is on its way.
Nice. Actually, there is a start.microprofile.io with Helidon provider included there.
Yeah.
So if you use microprofile, you can just as well use that option.
Yeah, this is a standard way, but we're now making our own, and it's really under construction right now.
All right. Okay, we are running out of time, I think, and it's a good time to actually finish. There is one question which probably we can take. That's basically, what is the way of getting a Helidon application into Kubernetes? I guess you just have to package it as an image, and that's it.
Yes, because even from the quick starters, you have all the Docker files you have. And by the way, on our help page, there is a good set of Kubernetes, specific examples, which you can just take a look, and everything is like step by step, so it's done nicely.
Exactly. It's a de facto standard, so everybody is prepared for that. All right, let's wrap it up here, and thank you, Dmitry, for the presentation. It's always nice to see more frameworks, tools, projects adopting Kotlin, especially for the server side. That's my precious topic, and of course, like, stay tuned, subscribe to our channel, leave your comments, thumbs up, thumbs down as you feel appropriate, and we meet again on the same channel in a week with the presentation about Ktor, and there is more sessions coming up soon this month and after that as well. So thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for the team.